Who's a fan of that shit? Our new body horror comic, Evolution, has hit the ground running. Despite its disgusting nature, people are loving it. So what inspired such a grotesque story? The writing ensemble has sent us their list of favorite body horror projects that helped birth their collective brainchild. Today we're diving into the ringside writer's choices. Here are Joseph Keatinge's 5 favorite influences on his writing and evolution. To kick this thing off, we've got body horror that, well, isn't a story at all. Keatinge detailed an actual genetic condition fellow evolution writer Chris Sabella introduced to him. If you want to go ahead and ruin your day, go type in hyperdontia into Google image search. This is some fucking gross shit. Perhaps not body horror by the traditional definition, Takashi Miike's Ichi the Killer has enough horrible things happen to, and in some cases from, the human body in this movie that Joe put it on his list. Ichi the Killer is a Japanese crime horror from 2001 based on Hideo Yamamoto's manga series of the same name. It portrays a story of feuding Yakuza gangs primarily through the actions of a scarred and psychologically damaged man named Ichi, who is manipulated into assaulting or killing rival faction members. This flick has received some widespread controversy over the years, and it's even banned in several countries due to the high level of graphic violence on screen. However, if you dig this movie, go check out his newest film, Blade of the Immortal, which happens to be Miike's 100th film. It won't disappoint. Next up is a specific episode from one of your favorite supernatural shows, The Twilight Zone. Episode 42, titled The Eye of the Beholder, is again not necessarily body horror when taken at face value. But this episode's twist, which we won't spoil, is an interesting comment on how we view each other and what is considered aesthetically pleasing and, by contrast, horrifying. These concepts helped Keatinge and his fellow writers shape Evolution, which runs along a similar path when dealing with the social undertones in the world they're building. Time for John Carpenter to pop in on the party. The Thing is one of Keatinge's biggest inspirations for his work, in big part because of the gnarly special effects, but mostly due to the psychological and paranoia elements when no one's sure who they can trust. The 1982 sci-fi horror classic starring a young, studly Kurt Russell fits the bill here perfectly. There's some gnarly special effects indeed, as we see some true works of art and practical special effects that continue to withstand the test of time today. But it's not just the morphing bodies that created an excellent movie here. Due to the Thing infiltrating an isolated research station in the Antarctic, paranoia quickly develops amongst the group, leaving everyone to fend for themselves in a landscape where they could all really help each other if allowed. Trust issues aside, Keatinge and Evolution are sure to pay homage to the genuinely horrifying parasitic nature of the Thing.
Fuck you too!
Joe's got a ton of respect for Junji Ito, and we couldn't agree more. Ito's creating some of the best horror in comics, flat out, and this entire list could be works by him alone. But Keatinge's favorite, Ito's Uzumaki, stands as the only comic Keatinge has involuntarily thrown because of a horrifying double-page spread. The horror manga, published back in the late 90s, tells the story of the citizens of a fictional city which is plagued by a supernatural curse of spirals appearing everywhere, and the residents become obsessed. It's so much more than that, but again, the less you know before you go into it, the better. And if Uzumaki truly intrigues you, make sure to go pick up Ito's short story, The Enigma of Amigara Fault, which we also recommend going into blind. If you haven't seen or read any of Joseph Keatinge's picks, make sure to go check them out today. Go pick up Evolution issue number 1 at your local comic book shop or Comixology, and be on the lookout for issue number 2 coming at you towards the end of December. Like this video, comment below with what body horror story is your favorite, and subscribe to Skybound. Go find out what James Asmus's top 5 inspirations were on our channel, and be on the lookout for Chris Sabella's choices as well. Thanks for tuning in, guys.